From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Kent's Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Meteorologist Mike Krueger. That rain we've been talking about really for over a week now, it's finally beginning to approach the coast. Not here just yet, at least just shortly before the noon hour. But as we go through the afternoon, that rain will slowly work its way into Del Norte County and then southeastward. Western Siskiyou County eventually getting on this rain, as well as Humboldt County and northern Trinity County later this afternoon and into the evening hours. And then the rest of Northern California late tonight and into tomorrow. So one more dry day for most of us. The clouds are moving in. It's cooler. It looks and feels like it's going to rain, but not there just yet. For most of Northern California, it's tonight that's going to be that main rainfall event, at least with this first storm that's pushing through. Cool, wet, and windy this weekend, but not as wet for some as others, which we'll get into here. Mainly dry and mild for next week. So your neighborhood forecast at a glance: the North Coast, you're seeing showers. Later this evening tonight, Trinity County as well as Western Siskiyou County. Late tonight, overnight into the early morning hours, the rest of Northern California is seeing that rain. So you can see the first two storms that are moving in. That cold front just off to our west with that band of rain, that's moving in along with the gusty winds, by the way. You're going to notice those winds for the North Coast this afternoon. Then there's another storm behind that one coming in on Saturday and another one behind that coming in by Sunday. And there you can see that 1, 2, 3 punch, if you will. None of these storms in particularly are very strong, but they will all bring everyone a chance for rain. Again, as early as tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, and along with those storm systems, some gusty winds and cooler temperatures and lower snow levels. So there's storm number 2 coming in on Saturday, storm system number 3 right on track to be here on Sunday. And then that moves out, and once it does, that storm system number 4, well, that's going to stay to our north, and we will remain dry as we go through next week with not only drier conditions, but warmer conditions here through next week as well. So looking at Futurecast, we're going to walk you through the timing of the weekend. If you've got outdoor plans, be sure to watch closely because you can start to kind of time things out here. So as I mentioned, through the afternoon, by mid-afternoon, we're seeing the rain and will be heavy at times. Gusty winds for Del Norte County, Western Siskiyou, northern Humboldt. Then we go into 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock this afternoon. The rest of Humboldt County seeing those showers with the exception of extreme southeastern. So Garberville may have to hold off a little bit here. Northern Trinity, central and western Siskiyou County seeing that rain, but everyone else still fairly dry at this point. Then by the time we get into about 10 o'clock tonight, we're starting to see those showers, but it looks like the valley is getting shadowed a bit by this rain. That is heavier rainfall to the west and east of the valley over the mountains, but not as much for the valley. But still looking at periods and periods of moderate to even heavy rainfall for everyone, including the valley, overnight tonight and early tomorrow morning. Now tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., bulk of the rain is now around Chico, Oroville, eastward into Plumas County. Snow levels, by the way, about 6,000 feet and even a little bit higher in most cases. We have storm number 2 approaching, especially to the north and west. That is bringing most of the rain to the north and west of the valley. And not to mention, thunderstorms are in the forecast. Now, by 2 p.m., we're beginning to see the shift a little bit more farther to the south than originally anticipated from earlier this morning. So I think Redding will see a better chance for maybe a stray shower as we go into the afternoon hours, and maybe even an off chance for a thunderstorm, which is something I alluded to even during the morning update. But you can see the stronger thunderstorms are to the north of the valley and in the mountains. But look at the valley in general, southward into Red Bluff, Corning, Chico. Yes, you may see a passing shower, and as I mentioned, maybe an off chance for a thunderstorm in Redding, but overall, it's not that wet. You can see by the second half of the day going into the evening hours, it's fairly dry for the valley, but look at the mountains. Scattered showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm, and then that storm system moves on out. Storm number 3 looks to pack a little bit more of a punch as far as the overall widespread precipitation. So overnight Saturday into Sunday morning, everyone's going to see rain. Gusty winds, by the way, and not to mention gusty winds on Saturday too. Snow levels are dropping down to about 4,500 to 5,500 feet. This is when we could see the potential for some of you dealing with maybe some chain requirements for mountain passes above 5,000 feet. Then by midday, most of the rain is to the east. And look at this, by 5 p.m. Sunday, it's all pretty much done with, and then we are dry through the day on Monday. Forecast models are now taking that rain and really pushing it up to our north, and we remain dry. So again, a bit of a disservice showing you these rainfall totals and rainfall estimates, but to give you an idea, I'd say about 1/4 to 1/2 an inch is a very good possibility for the valley, and for the north coast, I'd say 1 to 2 inches. And at least Crescent City is showing more than Eureka, as we would expect. Hoopa also seeing some decent amounts of rainfall. You see the yellows, you see the oranges in there. That's 2 to 3 inches of rain. So it's not out of the question for Crescent City to maybe see that much rainfall as well. But as we'd also expect, as you kind of hit up against that mountain range, we tend to squeeze out more moisture. That's why we're getting shadowing in the valley, and then that wind works its way back up the mountains east of the valley, hence that little shot of some heavier rainfall around Bernie, Shingletown, Chester, for example, then say the valley, and then usually we see a little less as you head up to the north and east. But bottom line, this is not a huge rainfall producer, is it? Or a huge snowfall producer. In fact, Saturday, you're going to have to go above most likely 6,000 feet before you start seeing snow. But this is where things get more interesting, because by Saturday night and into Sunday, you are seeing the potential for snow levels dropping down to as low as 4,500 feet. Scott Mountain Pass on Highway 3 in Trinity County, maybe some chain requirements there. Cedar Pass, we're seeing some snow there. Many of the higher mountain passes above 5,000 feet in the eastern mountains could see the potential for some snow, as well as Highway 97 in Siskiyou County and 139 in Modoc County. So just take that into account if you are traveling in the mountains, especially Saturday night and into Sunday. Also, gusty winds is something I was talking about. Don't pay too much attention to the high wind watch or the wind advisories. Yes, these are areas that are probably going to see some of the strongest winds. So let's walk you through the timing of that. You can see this afternoon, winds really picking up for the coast, especially in Del Norte County. And even the valley seeing those winds begin to pick up in advance of the storm system and many of the higher elevations. Then you can see Saturday morning, those winds picking back up with storm number 2 for Crescent City and some gusty winds elsewhere, and really ramping up midday on Saturday. Could see gusts up to 30 miles per hour in the valley. They will subside slightly for Saturday evening and afternoon, but you can see Sunday, the winds don't look to be as strong. Maybe that low pressure pushing to our south may bring some gusty winds to the south end of the valley and around Plumas County, and then we should see the winds begin to subside by Sunday night and through the day on Monday, although the winds may pick up a little bit here out near the Crescent City area. But otherwise, Sunday to Monday, the winds shouldn't be that bad. Okay, so here's what we expect for today. Temperatures, if you're lucky, you get up into the low 70s for those daytime highs. It's going to be a hard time to get that warm because we do have the overcast skies in many spots. We will see those showers developing through the afternoon for the north coast, working its way southward and eastward as we go into the evening hours, and overnight, the rest of Northern California is seeing that wet weather. Everyone's seen that chance for rain overnight tonight, but the chances will diminish for the north coast in the overnight hours, and we're not dropping a whole lot with those temperatures because it is a fairly warm air mass, and we've got the cloud cover to really help insulate us as well. So really overall, you can see mainly dry conditions through a good portion of the day for the valley. I think the best chance for rain tomorrow will be in Redding with a passing shower, maybe even an off chance for a thunderstorm Saturday afternoon as well. Sunday, better chance for widespread rain, especially in the morning, turning over to scattered showers Sunday afternoon, and then dry for the rest of next week. There's your 7-day forecast for the coast, inland, and for Trinity County. There you can see snow levels starting off 5,500 feet, down to 4,500 feet by Sunday, and drying out for early next week. Take a look at Siskiyou, Modoc County, the eastern mountains. Even a chance for some thunderstorms in your forecast. Snow levels may be as low as 4,500 feet by Sunday, and then you can see Monday through Thursday, temperatures in the 50s and 60s. That's going to do it for your afternoon update. I'll be back again for a deeper dive look at your forecast at 6 o'clock this evening. Until then, have a great afternoon.
When you see flashing lights, someone's life depends on us.
And while we're out helping crash victims, we need your help to keep us safe. Move over, slow down, It's the law. It protects everyone.
Our crews are out here every day, keeping the roads safe for you and your family.
We're often the last ones on scene, and we want to make it home safe too.
Protect those who protect you. Slow down and move over.